Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We're here in Larnaca on Cyprus. Today we're going to be heading out of here down to Alexandria in Egypt, flying the 737 business jet, which we can see in front of us. Kevin has joined us again. You can see him off to the right there in his 727. And we've got ATC up down in Egypt. We'll see if they stay up by the time we get there. So let's hop on board and get the aircraft set up and ready to go. And looks like we had Cypriot just land by the looks of it. And from what we're hearing there. So, into the cockpit, we'll clear the caution. They powered up the aircraft when they moved it over. That was nice of them. So we'll get the parking brake on and we'll come up top. Ensure that the battery is on and covered, guarded. Standby power is auto and guarded. Emergency exit lights are on and guarded. Ground power is connected. We'll get the lights on. External lights are on. Get the interiors up. And we'll pop down and get the main panel up. Get a little bit of background lighting up on the floods and the panels. And then we'll pop right down. And get those lights up as well. So, there we go. Lean back now. Get the ears up and aligning. And we are ready to carry on. So today we are flying, as I said, down to Alexandria. It's a flight time of just over an hour, and we have 11 passengers on board for today's flight, enjoying the luxurious comforts in the back. Cypriot went around. You looked a little high coming in, so that could have been why. All right, so we'll get the passenger signs on. There we go. Electric hydraulic pumps will now come on. Yaw damper on. Window heats left and right will come on. The left aft fuel pump up. And turn on the APU. And then once we get the power and showing low pressure, there we go. We'll start the APU. Maybe he's doing a practice run. You never know. All right, so while that's going on, we'll pop down here. We'll take a look at our route for today. See, we're going to be coming out of Cyprus here. We'll come down, fly along the southern coast, and we're going to turn down southwest across the eastern Mediterranean, down to the coast of Egypt and into Alexandria. Right there. And it's not a long flight, as you can see. All right, EGT's coming down. We're waiting for the generators to come on. Give us the light there. There they are. Generators are available. So the APU generators are now coming on. Do it with the APU bleed on. Turn the packs on for air in the back, and the isolation valve is confirmed open. So then we go to the FMC. We're all good there. Our data is good, and everything else is looking correct. We'll grab our GPS position and throw that in, and we'll get our route. We're going to be requesting it today. LCLK to HEBA. We'll request that. And we're going to set our payload numbers. We're going up to 41,000 feet, I believe. Or is it 40,000? 40,000 feet. And won't be there for long, definitely, on this short flight. 329 miles. Everything else is looking good. So we'll set our payload, we'll set our fuel, and we'll request the route. We'll clear the messages. Wait for it to come in. So new parallel 42 737 effects coming soon. So make it look a lot nicer. There's the load button. So we're going to load in the route. And there we go. We'll activate and execute. So there's our LCLK to HEBA. That is all looking very good. So over to our departure. Today we're departing off of runway 22. Winds are slightly favoring. And we're going to be going off the PA 1 Whiskey. PA 1 Whiskey. There we go. And we'll hit enter. And we'll come over to our arrival and enter in where we stand at the moment. It looks like today it's going to be a runway 32 right. There's no arrivals. So it's going to be the ILS for 32 right. And we're going to go in at BA722. There we go. So that is entered in. We can check our legs. There's our departure. Coming down, we've got NAS, and then we go into BA722, so we're going to move that up, remove that discontinuity, and that takes us around to the airport. So that is all looking good there. Could request our information here. We're going to get our fuel reserve numbers for today. So fuel reserve is, as always, 0.8 tons. We'll load in the information and we'll execute. So 40,000 feet is good. We're going to change the fuel reserve to 0.8. It's all fine there. And we are good with everything here. M1 limit, we'll pull back. I'm very light, Kevin. Very light. Is a rocket ship. All right, let's go to our performance tool. We're going off of runway 22, and we'll get the information from the aircraft. We'll bring in the weather, and there we go. We got plenty of space here. So it wants us doing a TO2 departure and a cell temp of 54 degrees. That is now entered in. We'll go to our takeoff. I'm going to put in the winds at 310 at 5 on the runway. It's going to be a flaps 1. We got our center of gravity in. There's 1,100 feet remaining, which it's actually 600 or 700 feet remaining. So I'm going to go with 07. 700 feet remaining. 119, 120, 126, 119, 120, 126. That is all correct. And that is now entered in. We'll put that back up there. So there is our information entered. So we're going to tune into Unicom now. On our radios, we'll do our radio check. And we'll get that dialed in and tested, and then we can carry on with our planning. So it is set 121.5. Larnaca Terminal, Caribou 32, radio check.
5 by 5, how many for broadside 5
5 by 5.
Okay.
All right, so that's up on frequency. We are good there. We'll consider that our clearance obtained. And we'll do our weather update. So this is 9 minutes ago. I will post it into the chat. If you hear any banging, please excuse us. They're doing work in the building, as always. Winds are 310 at 5, a little bit variable. We're going to have a right-hand crosswind. That's fine. Cavoc, 20 degrees and 1012. So we'll set that in. 1012 is now set. Transponder, we're going to set 1000. That is set. Fueling, loading, and boarding is complete. Takeoff data is all entered in. We're going to go up for our altitude and landing elevation. So we're going to go 40,000 feet for our cruise. And our landing elevation here is at 0 feet, which is correct. back down to the MCP. We're going to want our V2 plus 10 being 136 entered in here for our initial climb speed. We're going to go straight to 40,000 feet. At least that guy's doing a his calls by text, letting us know. And air runway heading is 220. There we go. 220 is set. So MP and that's the MCP. Flight directors are now on both sides, and the radios are set. All right. So we can get the stairs away. And we're going to come down here to Roger's side. We're going to release the ground power. He's on patterns, okay. And we'll remove the wheel chocks, and we can confirm, yeah, brakes are still set. All right, we'll bring up the anti-collision light. We'll pop outside, see how they're doing. Ooh, nice moon. Gotta grab that screenshot. That looks very nice. I'll put this up on the Discord. You can come over to the Discord.
Traffic, Roger, Alpha 1071, setting up band.
We've got all the information about what we fly, when, and where. It looks like we got a ship out in the water there, and you can find out the information of what we fly, when we fly, and how to join us. All right, looks like everything is clear. I'll pop back in. All right, we don't need a pushback. We're going to be starting on the stand. Since we're just going to be taxiing forward, I'm just going to set him up now. There we go. And we are good there. So no fuel in the center tank, so we'll just turn on the outer tanks and we will turn off the packs. Or turn on the outer tanks. Larnaca area traffic, Caribou 32, stand 62, starting on the stand. All right. Starting engine number 2. Start valve is open. We have N1 rotation, N2 coming up. Adding fuel. All right, we will add fuel in a second. I'm going to start SPAD next again and then reactivate the profile. Not sure why I did it earlier and it decided to turn itself off. Let's activate profile. There we go. And let's try that again. There we are. There's our start. FX pack is pretty good. It's got smoke for cold starts and cold weather. It shows rain dripping off it if it's been raining. And you get all the usual things with the vortices and low pressure, condensation, and all that great stuff. All right, so good start on engine number 2, going to engine 1. Into ground start mode, start valve open. N1 rotation. And adding fuel for number 1. So Ryanair going into Paphos down on the western edge of the island. There's another Ryanair inbound to us. 97 Victor uniform. All right, there is the engine start disconnect. So we got good start on both engines. So generator 1, generator 2 now coming online. Engine 1 and 2 start switches will go to continuous. Probe heat left and right are both on. Anti-ice not required. Engine 1 and 2 bleeds are on. Packs left and right are on. Recirculation fan to auto. Isolation valve to auto. APU is now off. Well, the APU bleeds off and the APU is off as well. Moving down to the lower section here, we're going to go flaps 1 for takeoff. Elevator trim, we want 4.72, so that's 3/4 of the way to 5, right about there. Do our flight control check. It's full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full reverse, neutral, left and right rudders are good. Engine instruments are good. We'll throw them up onto the overhead. LNAV, VNAV are armed. Auto throttle is armed. Warning recall. Everything is good. So we're going to come up here to taxi light on. We'll make sure the logo light is on. Auto brakes are set to RTO. Gonna go all the way up top. We'll kill the dome light. And we'll come down. So we are up and running. Larnaca area traffic caribou 32 taxi from stand 62 to runway 22 via apron 2 Charlie Alpha, hold short Alpha. All right, let's hop back inside. Release the brakes. It's a little bit noisy outside with my engines, Kevin's engines. Engines everywhere. So we're going to roll forward. We'll pick up the line here. And we're going down to Charlie, and then we're going to turn left, follow Kevin down to runway 22. So we got a Cypriot doing circuits, it looks like. We got a Ryanair inbound. No radio calls from anybody. Which is a little bit annoying. Right, there's a Cypriot coming in. Fairly dark out here. I'm going to turn on the turn off lights just to give me a little bit of side illumination. It's doing circuits in a 320 by the looks of it. 320 Neo. 737-800 inbound.
Larnaca traffic, Bravo 54 out of position number 22 and hold position for a few minutes. All right, we'll pull up to the hold line. See that moon's reflection out there on the water, looking very nice. Traffic doing circuit, can you please advise downwind for broker 5 Delta?
No, I don't think he will. right. So we're here at the runway. So we're going to do our fuel flow check. Make sure both engines are feeding equally. They are. V speeds are checked 119, 120, 126. MTP is set 136, 220, and flight level 400. Nav data is confirmed and entered in, and we're good. There, we've got takeoff data on my side. We have legs up on Roger's side. Radios are set 122.8, 120.15. All right, so now we're just waiting on the traffic. So Cypriot is going around. The other guy is still at 11,000 feet, so he's descending down. So Cypriot's on downwind. I can see him passing behind Kevin.
Larnaca traffic, Bravo 5 rolling runway 22. We're departing on the path us to Bravo departure.
Larnaca traffic, Caribou 32 taking position, runway 22 and holding for spacing. All right, let's move out. We'll get our landing lights on. Strobe and steady. We'll get the wing lights on. We'll get our transponder over to TARA. Taxi light will come off. Put up traffic on both sides. I'm going to turn data on mine. Runway is identified. We are good there. We'll come out and position ourselves. Kevin's climbing out. There we go. So we're giving him 2 minutes.
Traffic process 1,100, path up to Bravo.
Just looking for the other traffic. There he is there. So got a couple ships out there. Looking good. And the Ryanairs overhead the field. Pop back inside. I think we're good. Larnaca area traffic, Caribou 32, departing runway 22 on the PA1 Whiskey RNAV departure. All right, so clock is running. Engines to 40%. %40 stable. Brakes released. Takeoff power is set. Check. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
There's that wind. Gear up. Autopilot is on. Auto brakes are now off. Gear is up. 3 green. Landing gear lever is off. Start switches are off.
Watching our speed come up. Turn the train on because we're going to be following the island here. There's Kevin ahead of us. We're through 200 knots, so flaps can come up all the way. Alright, there's the island down below. And we're going to make that little bit of a right turn and then follow along the coastline here. There's that high ground that we came down past the other day.
Larnaca traffic, broadside 5 pilots are currently overhead. Remake flight level 126, making a turn toward Paphos. Your final call, Larnaca.
Alright, so that's 10-mile separation at the moment. We'll make the same call when we get there. And as mentioned, it is a short flight tonight. Won't have a large distance to go. And Kevin, ATC just went offline. At least center did. Tower's up down at Cairo, but alright, we'll just switch over to local or standard pressure. And there's 10,000 feet. So turn off lights will come off, landing lights are off, taxi lights are off. That's all good. Logo light will come off, wing lights will come off. And we will release the people in the back to enjoy their champagne and caviar. All right, so there's Rimex. Larnaca area traffic, Caribou 32 overhead, Rimex climbing through flight level 122 on the Papa Hotel Alpha 1 Whiskey RNAV departure. Last call for Larnaca. All right, we're up to speed now and we are climbing. So at least the Ryanair that went into Paphos was giving text information. It didn't seem to want to do any voice stuff, and no one else is doing voice, which is rather frustrating. But we're climbing out nicely. Can come over here, we'll put our range up. So you can see we'll be about, yeah, we got about 90 miles at cruise altitude before we head down. The engines will run better up there anyway. Colder air, thinner air. That's what they're designed for. You can see right now we're cruising along the southern coast of Cyprus. There's Lebanon off in the distance there. Definitely see why this was a important hub for dealing with the Middle East. There we go. So this is the last stream for a while. I'm heading away for a couple weeks. There'll be some videos that'll come up when I'm away, but we'll be back. I believe it's, let me just look up the date. Well, I can tell you, I'll put it in the chat. I believe I put it in. Alright, so there's the next stream. We'll be leaving Alexandria and heading to Malta on Monday, October 21st. So that should be a good one. But other than that, there'll be, as I mentioned, a couple videos a week while I'm gone, and that will allow for you know, keep the channel active. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm going all the way up to 40,000. Kevin's going up to the mid-20s. We'll see how that shakes out when we're descending down, who ends up in the lead. Because right now he's about 12 miles ahead of me. And he should be at cruise altitude and cruise speed, so that's why I'll be pulling away slightly. So take a look at Alexandria, see what type of traffic is coming in and out of there right now. Okay, it's pretty quiet. It's just the two of us coming in and no one departing. Engaging the INS. Sounds like fun. Alright, let's get the tunes going as we are up to almost 30,000 feet here. What do we want to put on today? We'll just chill. Check and see how loud that is. Hang on a second. going to come off the mic for a little bit just so I can take care of a couple things. I'll be in the chat and we'll be watching to see if ATC pops back up. And we'll definitely be back in time for top of descent briefing and all that stuff. So I'll be in the chat.
we're just 67 miles from top of descent. Let me get the mic over there. So we're going to start getting ourselves ready to come in. We'll get the most recent weather here at Alexandria. Still favoring runway 32. I'll put it into the chat there. So we're looking at 360 degrees, 5 knots, so directly out of the north. Cavok 24 degrees, QNH 1014. So we'll get that dialed in. And no significant changes expected. So it looks like Cairo approach has come online. Still nothing for us, but that is okay. All right, so destination weather is obtained. Arrival data. We'll pop down to here. We're gonna go into init index approach. It's gonna be a flaps 40 landing. We'll get that entered in. That is set there. Landing altitude for, I'm expecting 0, given it's right on the med. Oh, actually it's not. It's 100 or 200 feet. We'll make it. So we'll set 200 feet for our landing altitude. 177 on the charts. Radios are set. We are still on Unicom on 122.8 and 121.5. Localizer, ILS frequency, and course. So we are going to be doing the ILS for runway 32 right. So that is a frequency of 111.3. So we'll get that dialed in. There's 111.3. We'll get that in, and there is no other nav aid there that we can tune in, so that's fine. And it's a heading of 318 degrees, so we'll get that dialed in now. There is 318 in. So back down to the FMC, we'll go to our fixed page. It's Hotel Echo Bravo Alpha, and it's going to be the 4-mile ring. We're going to put in the 10-mile ring. And we're going to put in the runway center line, which is going to be 138 degrees. And we'll do that for 25 miles. And there we go. 48 miles to top of descent. So it's ILS frequency, localizer, course in, engine NTI is not required. Warning recall is, it's over here somewhere. There it is, it's clear. Okay, we want, our altitude is going to be, we're in the turn there, 2,000 feet for the intercept. Get that down to 2,000. There we go, 2,000 feet is set. Minimums will be category C, 353 on the barrow. So we'll dial that in. 353 on the barrel. Missed approach, we're going to turn right onto a heading of 008 to 2,000 feet, and that is directed, so we will come in on our heading here, and we're going to set that to 008. And that is set. Auto brakes, runway length here is more than enough. We're going to go to auto brake setting of 2. All right, so that is everything in and done. And we are ready for our top ascent. If we want to come down here, we could do a quick check for our en route landing. We could import, and import the weather. Okay, winds are 360 at
105. Outside air temperature will be 24 degrees, and the QNH will be 1014. Oh, it's, all right, because you can see we only need half the runway, so we're pretty good there. Not sure why it's only giving us the one runway. Interesting. We'll see what happens. Might be one of those cases where we show up, there's only one runway anyway. But given the weather, we can do a switch over to manual and side step over. 26 miles to go to top of descent. Everything is looking pretty good. So as mentioned, there is no star for the arrival, so we're basically going right into the approach. The other one is new. Both are in the scenery. Okay. Not sure if it's one of the ones that were updated, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, we're going directly in on the approach, so it should be good. We still got some good spacing. Kevin's at least 20 miles ahead of us, and I don't think I can see him. There's Alexandria right there coming up. So we're going to come in and do a little jog around, and then we'll be landing. Yeah, don't see him. We actually flew over Alexandria when we were doing the DC-6s on our way to Cairo from, I think it was from Malta. So that was a good good flight there. We got to look at it from the end. You're 70 from Nas, I'm 93, so we're 23 miles apart. So good spacing. We're going to drop back to 80 miles here and make sure we're all set for our descent. I've been watching some more videos on 2024, and I think this fall my computer will be going back in, and I'm going to give it a update to a modern up-to-date CPU and motherboard, and we'll see how all that works. Should be pretty good. My processor is 4.5 years old now. I believe.
Traffic, approach right flight 4 hours, currently 60 miles from Alexandria. You are ready to flight 260, down for 2000. Intentions are to leave Alexandria. You are on a hitting of 180. We are then going around 20 the ILS from 32 right.
All right, so there's Kevin's plan. And we're about ready to head down as well. We're starting down further out because we are a lot higher. And again, we'll peg her at 280 for the descent once our speed gets up there. There we go. Alexandria area traffic, Caribou 32, leaving flight level 400. We are 77 miles from Nas, inbound to pick up the Bravo Alpha 722 approach for the ILS runway 32 right at Alexandria. All Alright, so we're just going to watch our airspeed in knots. So when that gets up to 280, we'll lock that in. And we'll try to hold that so we don't sneak up on Kevin. But I think I'm going to have to visit the computer store and see what processors are out and everything nowadays. And talk with my few computer guys and see what they say. But definitely going to need a CPU motherboard upgrade. At least I don't think my motherboard could handle it, but I don't know, we'll check. Alright, we're up to 260. Maintaining 0.79 on the descent at the moment. .3 tons of fuel on board. We're well above our reserve, and we should be at about 2.8, 2.9 when we finally get in. So that should work out very nicely. I'm not sure exactly where Kevin's route's going to take him when he comes in, so we're going to slow that down a little bit more as we get down into the 20,000s. Just to make sure he's got space for parking. Kevin, if you look at the airport chart, the left-hand side is military and general aviation. So we're going to be going up for apron 1 up in the northeast corner of the airfield, and I'm going to be going for a parking spot, probably number 1. Yeah, parking spot 1. Yeah, I was looking at that. That looks like it'll be a good choice. All right, so we're down into the 20s. I'm going to bring my speed back a little bit to 265. Just make sure Kevin's got the space he needs. Engines are rolling back. We'll see if I've got enough drag to bring the speed down. I don't, so we're going to go 50% on the speed brakes. We'll get that speed coming back. And since we're coming up into the 20,000s, we're just going to turn off the music. Apparently we just turned on Molly. Hey, keep it down, girl. You're okay. Just hearing people outside. I think there's a bit of a, what do they call it? On a microphone where it cuts out the very quiet stuff and it doesn't activate until it's a little bit louder. It's like a hot mic, like not a squelch, but a there's a music term for it. Noise gate. That's it. I had to think my guitar stuff. Okay, so I'm now I'm 20 miles back, and I'll keep slowing down as well, so I don't rush up on you. In fact, I'll bring it down to 250 now. We're looking good. Dome light is confirmed off, and everything is looking good. Ground speed is good. Everything else is looking very good as well. You can see our runway heading that we're going to be coming in for, and there's our 10 and 25, 10 and 4 mile rings. 25 is put in automatically by the system. Alright, we're down to 250 knots. As long as I don't see Kevin pop up on the TCAS until the very end, he's got plenty of room. Oop, I think I see him down there too. Where was it? 7? Yeah, I think I got his lights right there. So he's almost to the coast. So we're looking good. Okay. Plenty of room. Yeah, I've got visual on him now. It's 20,000 feet. Transition here is 4,500. We're going to do that early. It's 18,000 coming up. Good steady descent down here. Yeah, still don't think this is showing up on the sim, but I can see Kevin's red lights flashing down there, or showing up on the stream. There he goes. All right, so there's 16,000 feet. We are on profile. Everything is looking good.
For Colorado traffic, Northwest 54 Alpha currently overhead the Alexandria viewer. We're starting a turn now to a heading of 180. We are flight level 400, 4,000 foot, speed 230 knots.
All right, so we have a bit of a thing. Our altitude restriction really doesn't kick in until BA722 at 2,000 feet. Everything else is aboves and aboves, so that's why we're still kind of high. So we're actually aiming for that 2,000 foot point, which is pretty good. That's why we're high. Kevin's right down at 4,000 feet. Now we're 10,000 or 10,500 feet above him at the moment. Okay, speed is creeping slightly. A little bit more on the speed brake, just get that speed down to 250. We're going to bring her actually down to 245 now, as we will be able to start bringing in flaps. Once we're below 250, we're going to go right down to flaps 5. All right, flaps 5 is selected. I'm going to bring in the speed brakes, see if the flaps will do enough to hold us on this descent. It's only 19.5 or 2,000 feet per minute, so we should be okay. So I'm going to switch over to local pressure now. Just to get it out of the way. All right, so as we come up for 10,000 feet, we'll bring on the landing lights, turn off lights are on, logo and wing lights will come on as well. So this is our deceleration point, which is fine. It'll hold us here and then we'll start dropping down again. It's all part of the plan. But you can see our course now. We go left and go ahead straight, and then we'll come around for the intercept on the ILS. As we come in over Alexandria. All right, so we're through 10,000 feet. Cabin pressurization is good. Landing lights are on, turn off lights are on. Seatbelt signs. Make sure everyone gets them on. There we go. We'll zoom in a little bit more here on the ND. There's 9,000 feet. Alexandria area traffic, Caribou 32 overhead NOS, descending through flight level 086 inbound for the ILS runway 32 right. Alexandria. Yeah, I figured you were low, but I figured you were doing your thing. We're going to come back to 220 now. Still see Kevin's lights ahead. Looking good. There's 8,000 feet. 6,000 to go. Yeah, a little bit of space gives you time, and time means you can do things. That's for sure. All right, so as we're at this point of the cruise, or the descent, since we're not on a star and we're coming up for we're on our approach actually. So nav course and frequency are checked, 111.3 and course of 318, that's in. We're not picking it up yet, but we're 16.5 miles from the airport. Speeds are within limits. We're going to now arm the speed brakes, as I don't think we're going to need them again. Speed brakes are armed. Approach mode will come shortly. We are showing the localizer now. And flaps were coming down, speeds coming down. We're going to slow down now to 210 or 200 knots. Below 210 we'll go flaps 10, and we'll hold that until we make the turn for our intercept.
Roger, Patrick, Broadford 54 Alpha, currently 13 miles to the south of the
Flaps
field.
10.
We're starting a turn inbound for the islet from 32 right now.
Alright, still not picking them up on the TCAS, but we do have visual. Speed's down to 200 knots. Actually, given that we're on a continual descent, he's still turning in. We're going to slow to 185 now. Let that speed come back. We won't go flaps 15 as the alarms will all go off. And we don't have to worry too much since we are in a descent profile at the moment. Well, there we are coming in. Alexandria is out there right on the coastline. See the airport over there. And everything is looking good. Gonna grab a quick screenshot here. There we go. Of course, throwing this up on the Discord. Alright, so we're looking good. We do have maximum speeds coming up. There's Kevin's made the turn now. Coming up for just under 5,000 feet actually. So we're looking good. We're going to come in again to 10 miles now. There he is now showing on the TCAS and he's inbound. Alright. So we're looking good. Kevin, if you can keep your speed up until about 4 miles. I'll slow to minimum approach speed a little bit earlier, at least 165 as soon as I make the turn, and we should be good there. That's Molly at the door. Molly! Enough.
Patrick, Broadford 54 Alpha, established on the local runway 32 right, currently 7 miles. We're going to want to speed 165 until 40 me.
She's being a guard dog. There he goes. And he's heading in for the runway. Okay, so we're looking good. So we're at 185. Coming down to 3,500 feet. Alexandria traffic, Caribou 32's overhead, Bravo Alpha 720, turning for the intercept. Localizer, runway 32 right, descending through 2,900 feet, speed 185, Alexandria. I know, I heard you. You're a good girl. You were watching the door. Thank you very much. Guarding me as I'm flying. Thank you. Okay. I'm working, Molly. Let me finish. All right, so we got glide slope, we got localizer. We're going to arm approach mode now. Once we make the turn.
Traffic Broadford 54 Alpha, 4 mile final, runway 32 right.
Once we make the turn, we're going to drop to 165. We'll get the gear down. We're only 11 miles out. All right, give me about 15 minutes or so, Molly. Get that cold nose poking me in the leg. All right, we're coming around the corner. There's 10 miles. Are you sure both runways are there? I hope so, because I'm only seeing one. Anyway, speed down to 165. Gear down. Yeah, I don't have a runway in front of me. Alexandria traffic Caribou 32, 7.5 miles. Inbound ILS runway 32 right. I got something there, but I got no lights. I gotta switch runways. All right, let's get the flaps down. We're gonna go manual. We're gonna land on 32 left. Cause I ain't seeing a runway there. All right. We're gonna set our final approach speed now of 123. It's 130. Alexandria traffic Caribou 32 sidestepping to runway 32 left. And flaps full. I have control.
And Alexandria traffic for outside 54, secured non-existent runway 32 right at Papa, taxi 2 stands 2 Alpha via Papa and Quebec.
Interesting. All right, so we're going to fly this thing in a minute.
1,000.
But I don't know.
Glide slow.
What scenery? I installed some stuff.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
All right.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
I know we're off now because we're on a different runway. Yes. I think. I'll have to look. I know I copied it in. Anyway. We're lined up now. We're all good. So gear down 3 green. Speed brakes are armed. Auto brakes are set for 2. Lights are all on. Cabin notified. Alright. We're high. That's fine. I got lots of room here. We're going up to the far end anyway.
Approaching minimums.
I mean, there's something there, but I don't know if that's supposed to be the runway or not. There's no light, so continue.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Traffic for outside 54, traffic advisory be advised of the point of dirt on Tango between Papa and Quebec.
Maybe in your scenery. All right. Roger. We're gonna go all the way up to Mike then, Golf Mike then.
Yeah, you bet off.
All right, we're gonna roll further up. I'll go up to the next one. Maybe I forgot to turn them on in the add-on manager. I'll have to go check. All right, well, that's us off at Gulf. Alexandria area traffic, Caribou 32, clear runway 32 left at Gulf. All right, so flaps retract, speed brakes retract, transponder will stay on, position lights will go to steady, we'll leave the wing lights and logo lights on, turn off lights will come off, landing lights are off, taxi light on, actually wing lights will come off, APU will start. Oh, I never turn my things on, that's fine. Probe heat is off. And we'll make sure the auto brakes are off as well. And Alexandria traffic, Caribou 32 taxiing stand 1 via Gulf, crossing runway 32 right, Mike, November, and the apron. If that's the way it goes, not sure. Let's see if this will give me stand 1. Come on, GSX. Give me stand 1. Don't know what these numbers are you're giving me, so it's fine. We'll work around it. I mean, there should be a runway here somewhere that I'm crossing. You would think. Yeah, I copied all the those airports in. I'll just have to go check and make sure I turned them on. I can't remember if I did or not. A little bit of braking action. Let's see if there's going to be a stand 1 up here. It should be off of the well, it's not strange if I forgot to turn it on. That's just me. So it should be right off of Lima, which is coming up. Doesn't really show it, so I am just gonna go in here. And they can bring stands out. This is roughly where it should be. Yeah, it looks like your engine's red on this side. All right, let's pop back inside. We'll get the brakes on. Brakes are set. We'll come down here. We'll go into our menu, actions, ground services with chocks. We will get our ground power. We'll go over here. We're going to tell them that we want stairs. And with ground power connected, we'll turn the ground power on. We'll turn the dome light on. Get the APU bleed on. Turn off the engine bleeds. The recirc fan will open that. We can turn off the engines. Logo light will stay on. These fuel pumps can come off. Turn off the window heats. Anti-collision light can come off. Pop down here. Turn off the flight directors. And we're waiting on the engines to come down. Clear that caution. And we can request our stairs. So stairs are inbound. Here we are at Alexandria in Egypt. As mentioned, the next time we fly, which will be in October, we're going to be coming into from here up to Malta, which should be a good flight. Oh, there's the stairs coming in there. So thanks again for flying along. Hope you have a good rest of the month. And we'll see you in October. Kevin, thanks again for flying. And that will do it for today. Take care. Bye for now.